The series continues here at the Grand Finals in a tie 1-1 score with Execration and Boom Esports taking on each other's, and now a maximum of 3 maps remains in this tournament. It could be over in 2 if the other one is able to snatch into victories in a row. Execration took map 1. Boom has now tied it up and tidied up that game too. They did. That was a very dominant performance and swapped around their draft just a tiny bit. Execration had pretty much a repeat, at least to start things off with their fear factor picks. They were no fear at all for Boom.
Yep, for sure. Boom just completely dominated the previous game. Execration, they did struggle in game number 1, but ultimately they did win it. You know, that kind of victory always feels better, but it might be an indication that there is a big difference in powers of these two teams currently. And, you know, saying that actually isn't that much away from the truth. Boom Esports have been consistently good for at least the past year, but maybe even more than that. Whereas Execration just now they're getting their footing. So Boom Esports, I would favor them from now on. I think they found Execration's number. They found the way that they want to play Dota, and if they continue drafting as well as they did in the previous game, I'm not sure if Execration will have the skill, means, knowledge currently necessary to win against them. But who knows? I'm hoping they will.
Who knows what will happen? At least some more stats to bring up for you people. The top kills, deaths, as in least deaths, and assists are all going to Boom. Yopaj, top kills, Jackie Boy, least deaths, Scam, highest assists, and there is no Execration player in the vicinity, not even in the top 5, except for assists. We've got Abeng on the 5th place, barely. So in terms of efficiency, Boom is leading in every department, and Execration wants to shift up the draft a little bit. We see the Enigma come out, countered by the Winter Wyvern. Skem's Chen that already worked out very nicely in that last game, giving them that extra stretch that they needed. Execration decides to bring up the Pudge already in the first phase.
Really good response to the Winter Wyvern and the Chen. These two don't do damage to you when you use the Flesh Heap. You don't nullify, but you decrease their heals. You killed the Chen army very easily. I think it's the right choice. I think Boom Esports definitely would have considered, or even most definitely banned out the Pudge if it was left in the pool. So I'd say Execration, they're going to be very, very happy with this one.
5 seconds remain.
Yeah, that is
just toying with us now.
A very straightforward answer as well with the AA ban as well. At least something to scale it out for Boom, considering the healing that they have. Pudge's Rot goes through Winter Wyvern's heal, and basically by the time you throw Hand of God, Rot will still do more damage in 2 seconds, and the heal per second that you get is not enough to keep your heroes alive. But maybe give that slight edge in a drawn-out fight if the Pudge can't quite close the kills. However, he still does a lot of damage with that Rot. Don't want to keep him near. Does Boom want to get a hero that keeps Pudge away? Maybe another BKB piercing ability?
Oh, it's tough to think about what they would want, because everything that you think about as cores, as Pudge counters, it is not great. I think maybe Boom Esports wouldn't mind putting the Winter Wyvern in the mid lane. That is a good hero against fat heroes as a core. You get the Witchblade, you get an axe at some point, and the Pudge will be melting. So that might be an approach that Boom Esports are willing to take.
Yeah, could be an option. I'd like to see a Wyvern mid. It does have a lot of damage, good scaling, and hurts like hell. Like, that's some of the benefits that this hero definitely has. So we'll see if Boom decides to flex it a bit, but that would also require them to will at least pick one more support, and that means Wyvern is going to be mid. Execration will basically get an idea of it early on. So if Boom is considering that option, they have to wait until the very end of the draft with that. So I think that's a bit of a long stretch, I guess, when you already have the Chen in the first phase.
I'll see what they decide to do, but Boom Esports, considering they had the second pick, they'll have the responses to what their enemies are doing. So as long as they don't reveal much with their third pick, you know, just pick a standard offlaner, something that might go well with the Winter Wyvern, but would do well with some other supports as well. Then I think you're gonna be good enough to potentially switch it to the mid lane.
Radiant team are now picking.
Boom will bring out the Leshrac, and this last time was played by Jackie Boy. played it as the safe lane carry. This has been more notoriously spotted in the mid lane, and the very occasional pause 3 Leshrac, which could still also happen. He's got a very good sustain
Only
spike
10 seconds.
once he hits Bloodstone BKB. Bloodstone is the go-to item on this hero
5
now, much
seconds
stronger than the previous one, at least when you consider how it sits into the current meta. Very useful item to pick up.
I have to say, I am not sure about the Lesh. I think this is the type of lineups that Boom Esports have been running for the majority of the tournament. The one that I don't want to say criticized them for, but said that they were one-dimensional. Do they think maybe in this regard that approach is going to work? Might be the case, but I think Execration for this kind of a draft, they should be ready. Earthshaker coming out, it's going to be great to combo with the Pudge and the hooks, something we didn't see from them in the previous series that they played, but also another part of these heroes that can be utilized. Also, no chance to catch the backlines on Boom Esports, but guess what, Panda? The Night Stalker is still in the pool.
Night Stalker is definitely in the pool, yeah, and they have room for it as well in Boom's draft if they want to put it into the offlane. And Palos with his Pudge, he has played it 5 games, 4 wins and 1 loss, so 4-1. He did struggle with it earlier on today. He did have a very difficult game on the Pudge. Was killed a lot early on, but did get a bit tankier, a bit beefier towards the end parts of the game, with a couple flesh heap kills that you were able to snatch. And
5 seconds remain.
outside of that, I think Boom's looking maybe to take a pretty early draft to face against Execration. Do they want to play on a timer, though, is the big question. Are they ready for it? I think Boom is definitely, with the aggression they've applied in the last few series, ready to play this into a quick 25-minute GG. Well, let's see if they want to get some late game security.
I like that Execration, though secure that they're going to have very strong side lanes. I think with Enchantress right now, you have one of the supports that actually isn't afraid of the Night Stalker. So Boom Esports are going to be thinking twice about getting it. The thing is, though, I still think the Earthshaker is going to be an issue. But they go for the PA. All of these heroes die to the PA quite easily. That is definitely a fact. Enchantress, 1 crit, Pudge, when you get the shard, you kind of completely annihilate him. Enigma can also die very easily. Also, during the laning stage, you can skip the Eidolons and go for the Enigma herself if the hero has been harassed. So pretty decent pick coming out from Boom Esports.
5 seconds. Hurry, hurry.
What I'm kind of looking at here is there's no real room for a Visage in this draft for Execration unless they do some interesting shenanigans with who goes where. I'm actually trying to look up the has this been duoed together with the Phantom Assassin? I'm looking at the Leshrac just to see if they have some kind of win rate together. No, they have not played together before. So interesting to see how this one works out for Boom.
It's decent, you know, you have the mixture of pure and magical damage on Lesh, and then you're going to be having the physical damage coming out from the PA. Lesh is pretty good at opening up the map overall. You have heroes that defend the Lesh with the Cold Embrace, with the Winter's Curse, and of course the Hand of God and the mech that is going to be coming out. So I think this Boom Esports lineup makes a lot of sense. The problem I see with it, you're still up against the Pudge. When you have these frontline heroes that are supposed to be creating space and they get hooked once or twice, lose their lives, kind of your whole lineup tends to fall apart.
Yeah. I couldn't find any PA played with Leshrac in the tournament. I went to look at how it's been played in the Immortal bracket, which is, you know, a very, very wide MMR bracket, which you gotta use for reference. 247 games, PA and Leshrac in the same team with a 48% win rate, and they're also on the minus side. So it's somewhere around the middle. You know, it could be a win, it could be a loss, but it's not like direct synergy where, you know, like, all right, these two are great together, like Tide TA, for example, which we remember from TI finals from previous years.
Yeah, definitely it isn't something that you look at and be like, these two are awesome together. But in pubs, 45, 48, 50%, it doesn't have to mean much. You know, we don't know what other heroes went with them. I think Boom Esports lineup, it has a lot of merit currently. You just need to round it up nicely. I'm just not sure what it is, because surviving the lane against the Pudge and the Enchantress is not going to be easy. And you're seeing that Execration, with their bans, they're securing that they do well in this lane.
I like these last bans, though. The Veno and the Viper. The Pudge is already in the pool. And they've got the Enigma here. They still want to shift things up a bit. Is there any offlaner that kind of struggles here against the PA in the lane? Because I feel like they have a rather good combo already coming out.
Templar Assassin.
Because Enigma Shaker, it's alright. PA is not too bad against them. There's the TA pick for Execration, which does sit in nicely with this Pudge. We've seen this work before.
Yeah, for sure. And
10 seconds to pick.
it actually gives you the vision necessary of the Roche pit, so and also
5
the potential to
seconds
take
remaining.
Roche. Protecting the tower for Boom Esports is going to be very important, so I'd go for some team fight hero on them. I think Pango kind of would be a good one for Boom. They need team fight. They need something that's gonna allow them to either protect their towers or when they're pushing, just give them a really big team fight.
50 seconds for Boom with this final pick in the draft. Since the PA is in, it looks like Jackie Boy will snatch him on the PA. Leshrac most likely mids the offlane pick for Boom.
Points away. Choose
Could
your
be either Lesh or Pango. Do they want to swap things around a bit? I mean, Pango's pretty okay against the TA in the mid matchup against Bob. Lesh is also good here, but they're not locking them in just quite yet.
I'd rather see the Pango in the offlane.
The
It is
Pango
gonna
off
be
on
the case.
FBZ. Right, there we go.
Because if the Lesh gets caught in the offlane by the Pudge hook, he's just dead. And the Pango, he doesn't care. FBZ, no matter how much you get out of position, you're always going to have the swashbuckle. Even if you get hooked, you can even use the aggressive shield crash and stay and fight. It is a possibility. So I like it. I think it was the perfect last pick for Boom Esports. But I don't think that Boom Esports have out-drafted Execration as they did in the previous game. I think they are going to be winning this one because their lineup is so well-rounded. You have teamfight, you have damage, you have heals. But this time around, I think this is the closest in draft that we've gotten in this best of 5 grand finals. Because Execration, no matter how strong the Lesh is, you can always fissure into hook, kill him, and that is something that Boom Esports are really gonna have to think about. If that doesn't happen, if Yopaj is able to pop off, it is gonna be a pretty straightforward game for Boom Esports.
I want to see Jackie Boy's build into this game. Is he prioritizing the later phases of the game? Does he have time to build the Battle Fury and not lose control? What is Yopaj's Lesh gonna achieve early on? How big is Palos gonna get, or is he gonna get shut down? And of course, Bob and the TA, his window of opportunity timer, and these all kind of click and connect together on who actually has an advantage at what phase of the game. Because if PA has a bad start, does she want to go for a fighter build? Does she go for the farmer build before she grows into this big late game carry? Or can they slow down the TA's timer, for example, in retrospect? There's a lot of moving pieces on both sides, which the laning phase is probably going to decide for us.
I don't think you're slowing down the TA in this game. I don't think that's gonna be happening. When Bob hits his timing with the damage items and when he does not yet have a BKB, that is when you shut him down. And plus, you have a Winter Wyvern, so overall this TA shouldn't pose that much of a threat for you that you're constantly going in. The goal for Boom Esports is to reduce the map so that Pudge and the TA, they cannot farm as much. That is the idea. Considering that Boom Esports just have one hero that is gonna be taking the majority of the map, they're gonna be okay if they themselves are losing map control while taking some away from Execration.
Yeah, the smokes also pop here. Not sure if Shanks had an idea about the ward being placed on the cliff here, so Tim's is not gonna put the ward down. Instead, he gave it to Skem. Make it look like he has an empty inventory slot at the moment he passed by.
30 seconds.
They're gonna put it onto the cliff. Palos is ready here with the hook, preparing themselves for the potential first hit here. And FBZ right in front. There's probably no ward on this side, but Abeng, does he sentry down? Looks like he might. He's waving his arm here on the low ground here. FBZ is there. Greet a friend. Earn Pango, by the way.
Ends up being of any cosmic significance.
There's a hook from Palos. Does connect onto the hero instead of the bounty rune. Abeng Gonna be chased up by Skem and FBZ to get some early damage onto the Enchantress. But yeah, since the Pango is going to the offlane, swapping the item build a little bit and going for Vessel. What's your take on that?
I think it's decent. You know that you're gonna be having some damage issues on your side. The Lesh is the one that's gonna be doing the majority of it. But what happens if Yopaj isn't immediately in the fight? So you need to be having something to help you with that. And also, I think the urn itself is gonna be very important for FBZ in the lane. The one thing I want to point out is the warding for Boom. They're warding both the cliffs because both the Enchantress and the Shaker are very good at rotating, and the Pudge and the Enigma are pretty solid at staying alone in the lane. So you don't want your Lesh to get bullied, especially kind of at the time when Bob is going to be hitting level 6, and those wards are going to be there when that happens.
That is true. FBZ does catch a hook from Palos right under the tower, but no tower hits to connect as the creeps were still roaming. Roaming in first, and no right clicks from the Pangolier. Palos is slowly practicing his hooking game. You've seen him land some amazing hooks. We've also seen a couple ones which looks like they should have hit. And then there's some where he probably, I don't know. There was one hook which we saw in the top Radiant secret shop, which he basically just added in some mathematic calculations to curve the hook a little bit to catch somebody. And that was a pretty wild one.
For sure.
He did not hack. No player hacks.
Okay.
That is... Well,
that's your opinion.
Well, let me put it this way. If they did, that's something that I hope to not see, at least. There's almost a kill in the mid lane. They will lose Tim's courier at the same time. Bob did drop pretty soft here. Yopai started off with Diabolic Edict. He's going to look for the stun on the TA. First blood is going to be secured. Bob is down.
That is a perfect start for Boom Esports. It's just so much levels and so much gold going towards Yopaj, and as I mentioned, this is the main hero for Boom Esports in their lineup. This is the one that pushes, this is the one that does the damage, and this is the frontliner as well. He's everything for his team. Bob just a big mistake from him, and he got surprised that the level 2 Diabolic Edict was picked up on level 3 by Yopaj. No points in Lightning Storm.
Bobbang finds himself an Ogre Bruiser. As you can see, the Ogre Smash is a pretty handy spell despite the long casting range. Casting time. That's still a 3-second stun, plus 200 damage and 8% as well. And here's the wraparound onto FBZ. He's trying to catch Skem with it. Skem will take the huge nuke to the face as the Ogre runs out and Pango walks in front so that Skem doesn't get hooked.
Yeah. Nicely done there. They managed to connect that stun, but also FBZ coming in front of it. As we mentioned, you don't care about the hook as the Pango, and it was just showcased there. He doesn't even need to use the swashbuckle to get out. That's just how tanky it is. But his frost armor, ice armor, sorry, is gonna be a problem. So iBank wants to take that creep away as fast as he can.
Yeah, it's gonna be a control battle of who takes what creep. Conversion versus enchant. Who has the stronger willpower of the creeps in this game? Who can they resist more, the Enchantress or the Chen?
We all know that you are gonna be... the Enchantress uses her beauty to overwhelm the creeps, and Chen just uses force, so beauty wins against force. So you can see that Tabang is coming out ahead in those wars.
I don't think Chen uses brute force. I think he's more of a diplomat. It is... I mean, he persuades. He's a charming guy, I guess you could say. I mean, he's a silver tongue. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Can put it that way. Still,
have you ever seen a brute force Chen? I mean, come on.
He intimidates people into his religion, you know? That's how I see it.
He doesn't intimidate, he persuades.
Oh, okay.
There's a fine line between those two.
I apologize.
He's got already 17 CS. Enigma also snatching 11 denies so far. And Tino, who has been pretty good on this Enigma so far, he's actually got a lot of games to practice with it. Palos is down to very low HP, but he's got stick charges. FBZ looking for the snipe here, but he also wants to force out the swashbuckle from him so Palos could use his one. He's getting heals from Abing.
Has a lot of HP, so it's gonna take some time, but still, the Nature's Attendants, they heal quite a lot. Usually, I get a argument that That was close. That was close. Usually I hear an argument that now, considering that the Nature's Attendants were nerfed, that either you max them out or you don't take them at all.
Yep.
But it seems like he favors the enchant over the Nature's Attendants currently, just because he's up against the Chen.
Yeah, it makes sense. Wanna at least match up to the Chen's capabilities early on. We could go even more depth into how enchanting is that enchantress. If is it more powerful than the persuasion? But we'll just leave that topic for now and dive more into the CS department of Lesh with 11 denies so far. Yopaj, who is not really slowing down the TA by too much. But TA is a tad bit behind in experience. The traps are not available yet. Skim's making a rotation to mid. They have the Hill Troll. That is a bit under a 2-second web that's available. Yopaj, who's already been putting early points in Diabolic Edict with the DD rune, forces out the early glyph.
They want to force this one out so much.
Slow on the Chen. Bob trying to get the Meld Strike, looking for side blade spill. Beautiful from Shanks. As even Tim's tries to save him with the Splinter Blast, but with that Fissure Block, Yopaj will go down to Bob, and that's the first kill for Execration, and for the hero that they really needed to kill onto.
For sure, and this is the thing, that Boom Esports, those wars that they had on cliffs, they expired, so they didn't know that both of the supports of Execration were rotating as well, and they were the ones that wanted to surprise Execration. But all of the things got together. The wars expired, Bob got level 6, going onto a dive, onto a level 6 TA is never a good time, especially not if your supports are there, and Boom just didn't have the info, so a bit of greedy coming up from the bottom.
Looking for the Pango kill, but only a level 1 hook, so it's not enough to kill him, but good amount of poke coming out from Palos. Mid lane is now being pushed in by Bob and Shanks. So Yopaj, with a maxed out Diabolic Edict, wants to push them away. He's full on mana. He does have the Winter Wyvern also in the area, so Shanks might be dueling out with the Wyvern. They're going to look for the Shaker here. Good fissure. Yopaj cannot get closer. And Bob wants to turn on the Winter Wyvern. That would have been such a good fissure that they actually enabled them to get a kill, but they're going to lose their life for it because look at Yopaj and the damage. Oh, it's not even worth anymore. It was a valiant effort. But Yopaj, he gets the longer straw.
Kind of feel like Bob's positioning could have been a bit more defensive there when killing the Winter Wyvern. He got too close, too deep, even ran a little bit towards the enemies, but I have to say Yopaj, from the angle that he came from, he probably would have been able to get a kill either way.
Oh, now for another one. Double root coming into the stun from Yopaj. Your heal might do something, but it's not going to be enough against this burst. And they've got themselves a Wildling Ripper to finish off as well. Into an Arcane Rune for Yopaj. Everything looks to be going swellingly for Boom here, at least in terms of their mid lane. He did kill Yopaj once, but it's looking good for him now.
FBZ is coming over. They want to emphasize this mid lane. They want this tower dead, and that is a beautiful trap coming out from Bob just in time to know that this is coming.
Yep, you have been spotted. They're going for Bob though. And
He's okay.
Give up the chase. Yeah, he's a bit too far away to go for it. But Yopaj gets an opening on the tower while this is happening. Scamp also retrieves Abeng, who enchants one of the Hill Trolls. Scamp able to take it back and take the tower meanwhile, and they found the connection onto the Enchantress, who they did kill just not too long ago. Into another death as the Rolling Thunder still gets one more connection, and that pushes the Enchantress to a hopeless cliff.
Yeah, Boom got everything they wanted from that one. The mid lane tower and the earn charges on FBZ. And also the ancient stack. Let's see if Bob can prevent that. It seems like the answer will be yes, at least
I
for that.
love how Boom is playing aggressive here. It forces Tino to get back as well, while Tim's, he's got no escape route for himself. He's going to have to wait out the Malefice. Palos gets a kill on Skim, but they might lose Palos in return. Yopaj with another kill for himself to trade off a support for a carry.
Yeah, very fast movements around the map from both teams. Execration, the second they're protecting the Ancients, Boom is making a play on the bottom lane. At least Palos did get himself a kill before going down, but with so many things kind of brought to the bottom lane, he pretty much had no chance of survival there.
And as you can see, as they went here, they blocked the Ancient Camp. It's going to slow down the TA.
Quite a lot.
Palos just TP'd it. Gonna go for the hook on Yopaj. Doesn't quite connect. Tim's is gonna be here as well. Jackie Bob with the dash.
He's in
Slowing
trouble.
down. Gonna get eaten up, but the damage is gonna be following up. There's gonna
Help
be more
is
TPs
coming.
kicking in, and there's a lot of activity on this lane. Yopaj is here. Tino looking for the angle, but no mana for
Stay.
Black Hole. Can't get it out. Yopaj. Sorry, Jackie Boy still chasing up. Palos will take down Yopaj with that big streak. And Jackie Boy, she's got 2 seconds left for a jump, but the Black Hole comes out first. Tino finally recovers the mana required for it. And the long chase pays off for the Enigma.
Oh man, they
Big
thought they
kills.
could kill Palos. They thought they could kill Palos. Palos sometimes he skips the Hood of Defiance, just gets the Ring of Regen and the Ring of Health, and just goes straight up for the Ags. This time around, no, he goes for the Hood of Defiance, and that is what allows him to live for so long, for them to get that beautiful turnaround.
Getting the streak off of Yopaj, killing the carry of the enemy team who was building a Battle Fury. Ooh. Those kills couldn't have come at a better time for Execration.
For sure,
look
and
at-
also
look at
getting
Shanks.
the tower down.
Look at Shanks' money situation compared to what he was struggling in the last game with the Shaker. We talked about him getting a very slow blink timer. This is complete opposite now. He's getting a great timing as he's already halfway in.
Fast move from Boom.
Smoked up and close and nearby. Dire Scan will find them out. Shanks is gonna go out and scout. Puts down the ward. He sees that Skem is doing work. Yopaj just popped, and there we go. Palos. Hook. Fissure comes out as well, but he can't get close to him. And he sees a lot of Boom heroes around this area.
Shanks wasn't expecting that. If the Fissure comes out earlier, that could have been a kill on Yopaj, blocking him on the other way.
Palos is gonna get stunned up. He's standing still on the spot. He's
He's
900
baiting.
HP. He's regenerating nicely here. And looking for Yopaj just a bit too far. The hook does connect beautifully.
Beautiful.
Read by Palos. There's the heal in from Chen. It's not gonna do enough. The rot damage is too much to deal with Tino helping him out. And Abeng, he's between 4 heroes. Enchantress, no fear whatsoever.
They have
Gives
no
a
damage.
lot of vision onto Boom. And Boom are just retreating with the tail between their legs.
This is the thing. It's happening. The hooks on Yopaj are bringing the game to Execration, and there isn't much that Boom can do about it. If their Lesh dies, they cannot fight. I'm just curious to see if the game changes once he gets the Bloodstone.
It is a rarity that we see Execration against Boom in a triple net worth lead, but for sure, right now, it is a certainty. Jackie Boy getting hunted in the top lane. They finally
He's
get a
alone.
TP out for the Winter Wyvern, and here also comes the Pango. Palos is deep in the front line, but
Are they
he's
too
so
deep now?
tanky right now. But there's the Vessel. FBC is here. He does have one more charge. They need to make it
Beautiful
count so
trap.
he can get more for himself. Still continuing with the chase. More slows kicking in. FBC relentless with the right clicks.
Help
He's
is
got
coming.
Swashbuckle up in a second. Here comes the Fissure from Shanks. Still chasing on Palos. It feels like an eternity that they're chasing him down. He's got Dismember
He's not
available.
dead.
And they have to give it up. They cannot kill Palos.
Yep. The guy doesn't die. Just doesn't die. They got so close a couple of times, and the game would have been looking so much different for Boom Esports. They felt like they could kill him, but they were always just a tad bit too short. And now no charges on the Spirit Vessel means next time it's gonna be even harder to get close to killing Palos. So first off, Boom Esports, they need a pick off before they can actually go for the Spudge.
Yeah, that hurts. No more Vessel charges. They used both of them for the chase. And just did not lead into any results for them. Well, I totally agree. It's going to get a lot harder for Boom for the time being. They're going to have to farm up their next items and see again what's going to happen. Bloodstone is almost ready. And PA, he is over halfway towards the Battle Fury. We will see some late game scaling kicking in from this hero.
To get to the late game, I don't
Get
see
to the
Boom
late game.
Esports-
That's a good question.
I don't see them being able to get into the backline of Execration if both Palos and Bob are strong. And by the looks of it, they're not only going to be strong, they're going to be the strongest on the map.
They are enjoying their time for now. Still almost 2,000 gold ahead of the Pango and the PA on both their pause 1 and pause 2. They have set themselves a very good moment in the game where Boom has to play defensive. They can farm up their items. Palos is almost finished with the Aghanims, but there's a smoke coming in from Boom. It is but Scam and FBZ, and they find Bob. Bob
He has
doesn't bait
haste.
him onto the high ground, but he sees. He's got vision here. They have a ward on the other side of the river, and he has the haste.
As soon as their smoke broke and they saw a haste on the TA, it was time to back out. They don't have that much of a lockdown to be able to keep Bob in place for long enough for him to die during those stuns and not be able to run away. So good call for Boom Esports, but still, they have to make something happen. It is their map that is becoming increasingly small. We said Boom Esports, they're okay if their map becomes small, but if Execration map becomes small as well. Execration, they're not losing ground as well. They are farming everything they want.
That also explains the net worth lead for them, but percentage-wise, Boom has a 1% advantage over Execration, so that doesn't really tell us anything. There's a hunt in the top lane. Tino looking for Tims. Does get the Balafist to connect. Could get a buddy to teleport in as well. There's no Eidolons. There's the teleport, and that's going to be Shanks. And Shanks will get his Blink Dagger if they can secure this kill on the Wyvern. Tino's already moving away, just in case they don't get caught by the curse. And Wyvern here, Bob will get the kill.
Meanwhile, mid.
And Shanks is halfway, but there's a long dive going on onto Palos. Maybe this time it works out, and it
dead?
seems to be a chance. He did get himself the Flesh Heap active, and look at the damage that he's soaking. They cannot kill him again.
Black Hole
It's
ready.
the same problem. Black Hole coming in as well onto the Lesh and onto the Chen, and Boom are going to be losing heroes. They lost one in the top lane, they lose two
Right,
in
Roche.
mid, and this is just disastrous. It looked like Pudge was about to die. Then he pops this one simple spell. He presses E, and then he doesn't die.
Palos has nerves of steel. He knows just how much he needs to bait. If he used the Flesh Heap immediately, Boom Esports, they would go back because they would see they couldn't kill him. But he gets to 20% HP, he pops it, and then he goes. And he's even going for a fight on bot.
He is fighting against Palos on Abeng while Roshan has already been started. And Roche is about to be finished. FBZ juking around. Palos, one good hook. Oh, he's still on cooldown. Roche is dropping right now. Tims, he's inside the pit, or at least near it. Doesn't get hit by the Fisher. He's being chased up by the Eidolons, and that denies the opportunity for Boom to take a Roche fight. They're just a tiny bit too late for it. They get FBZ out of harm's way, but still the triple net worth lead on all the cores of Execration. It continues.
Man, Execration, this game, it's not so much in movements, it's for them understanding just how strong they are at the moments. You know, Palos gets the hood and he says, I cannot die, be behind me. Then he knows that he's gonna be getting the axe soon, he has a lot of HP, and he says, again, they're gonna be going deep, stay behind me, I can live. They have done so much on Palos understanding the limits of his heroes that it is actually insane, and now movements around the map are gonna be easy for them. Now when this Blink Dagger is out, Execration can even go for the aggressive plays. They don't have to wait for Boom any longer.
Stalking in the top lane is Tino. Wraith Pact and Blink, making fast progress towards his BKB.
Haste.
What I'm curious about is on Execration side, who's making the calls on Tino's hero picks, or is it himself? Pick me Enigma. Just give me Enigma.
Yep, I don't know if anyone can play the Enigma that much, but I guess you're better to answer that question than me.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, is it a team decision, or is he being told to do so, or does he want to play it more? However, bot lane, they have found Jackie Boy into Palos' arms. Hook comes out. Jackie Boy lives for the time being, and that's the agonist. Oh, Scam. Oh, Scam. Look
Palos
at that
is
HP melt. He's just outside rot range, but Palos will be able to walk in. That Flesh Heap active is still up for a couple seconds, and soaking up
No way he
FBZ's
lives.
right clicks, and he should die now. There we go. It's off. Jackie Boy with a redemption kill.
Okay, that's a little bit too deep. That's him getting ahead of himself. A lot of those times when he lived, it got to his head and he thought he could live for so long. TPing to the outpost is just way too long now. 7 seconds, you know. 10 if you're TPing afterwards. It's just too long. So it was impossible for Execration to connect in time there to help him.
The Beholder of the Ages, the TA, finds himself a Scam. He just respawned, only to die again. Bob pops the slow, and he does the rest. They have a sentry there to see the ops ward the next time they walk on the high ground. But look at these two wards. There's one on the other stair, and the second one right here, and they have full control of the top jungle thanks to it, because Bob is just living here. He's made a new home out of this.
Boom Esports, they need to kill Bob before he gets a
FBZ.
BKB.
And that's a kill.
No more FBZ. If Bob doesn't die until he gets a BKB, that BKB will secure him. He doesn't die until the next Roche, and then Execration will win the game. So now is the timing for Boom Esports. They need to kind of time this Aegis. The second it runs out, Bob needs to die. If that doesn't happen, I just think they're gonna be in so much trouble, and Execration are gonna be way too strong. Then it's gonna be on them to lose this game rather than on Boom to take it back themselves.
Difficult situation here for Boom for the time being. Knowing what's at stake and what the current situation is looking like. Towers are fallen. They are going to have to deny that bottom tower, but that also reveals Jackie Boy's location. Tim's is going to be there. Shanks, he's got the ward down, and he finds him. He doesn't stun the Wyvern with it, but he will find Jackie Boy with it, and now the Shaker ends up being in trouble. There's Tino on the low ground with the Malefice, and Shanks is low. Hook will connect onto the Wyvern. That's 1-for-1, support for support. Tino still ready.
No
They
Winter
also got
Wyvern.
Bob coming in from the side. Abing is also here. Yopaj. Needs to be careful of Bob. He's still got that blink initiation. 1 minute left on Aegis.
Nothing to cancel the black hole. That's why Execration are forcing this out. They know if they can get the fight right now, it's gonna secure that Bob gets the BKB after the Aegis expires, and then it's gonna be almost impossible for Boom to play this game.
They are not getting into a position though where Execration would maybe overextend or dive. They're playing it smart positioning wise. Abing is mostly the frontliner here. If they can give an Enchantress away, that's fine. If you see several heroes clumped up, maybe Bob and maybe Tino get interested in going in.
I think you buy... Oh no, he committed to the BKB. I thought Jackie would be needing to go for a death, so in this game, you need to go on the aggressive. Heroes need to die fast. You having a BKB isn't gonna change much.
Palos with the... Ooh, that's a close one. Right, it's basically tickling the Leshrac there. Must be a scary sight when you put yourself in the position of a hero and you see a hook coming. It's a big meat hook.
They lost the Aegis, but they're the ones going aggressively.
Scan detects them. Under the ward as well. Palos has been spotted, but is he going to play the bait? He plays with the blink aggressively to the back line. Here comes the rest of them. Yopaj in trouble. He's going to be surrounded. Tino looking for the black hole. Going to wait for the heal to come out, but they don't even need to use it. The right clicks from Bob are more than enough.
Damage.
Shanks is also ready for this one, as they will take down a second, and FBZ will be the third casualty. Execration going to the high ground. No backdoor protection up.
Execration knew that Boom were gonna be wanting to fight now when the TA doesn't have a BKB and when you don't have the Aegis any longer. That's why they smoke. They choose the fight. And if it's Palos jumping in first, Bob is gonna be completely fine. There's nothing he can do about it. Lesh dies first, the fight is over.
That's a Rax gone. Maybe even a second lane as they continue to push their advantage. Black Hole is up. Echo Slam is up.
No reason to go back.
Happily stay inside the space. Boom. What can they do? To spread it out for a good curse. Don't have enough damage on the TA. Really pack a punch yet.
This game is looking out of hand. They don't have that lineup that has like pick-off potential. They relied on Yopaj being this strong frontliner that is unable to die. But other than that, they just got the same treatment just from the Pudge on the other side. So that is I think that their lineup's goal is completely destroyed. Now you're just kind of hoping that Jackie gets lucky with the crits and kills some heroes that he otherwise shouldn't be killing, because the advantage of Execration is too much for Boom to come back into it.
In 9 minutes, this game has gone from 50-50 to 93-7. In just 9 minutes. That is how grim the situation is looking for Boom. Very slim chances. But they also just cannot get a fight that they would like to take. They've had a couple pick-off opportunities when they were still lacking damage. That would be the Phantom Assassin dealing it fully out. And now Execration look to be on the driver's seat.
I don't know what Boom do. They have one outer tower left, but even there, a ward is waiting for Execration, giving them vision of that area. Execration, they don't have to rush. They don't have to go for the last outer tower, which is gonna be the kind of last stand for Boom. They can wait for Ocean. It makes Boom's chances just so much slimmer. So right now, the only thing that Booms does is farm up the PA and again hope for those crits. Ideally, you would want that PA level 18. I just don't see them. I don't see them winning a fight anyways, but unless PA is level 18, there is no way a single core dies on the side of Execration.
Yeah, this does remind me a little bit about the Phantom Assassin we saw from Hikori against Execration in game number 3, where they're just trying to get the level 18, but they're being starved inside their base. At least Boom is getting to get out of the base and farm a little bit outside to still keep them in the run. So it's not that dire. But it's definitely dire for this dire team.
You know, the reason why they're allowed to leave the base is because Execration are allowing them. They know that they're 100% gonna win the game if they get the Roche and get the tier 2. And they could theoretically just push Boom out of this one, win the game right now, but there is no reason to risk it. That is just the only reason Boom are allowed to play the map, because Execration, they don't mind giving them even more farming experience.
14k ahead. Deso now up on the PA. We've got big items coming, and we've got an Aegis also for Execration. So even if Boom were to smoke up now to look for a fight where they feel they are strong, try to add up how strong Execration is at this stage of the game. Tino to push out the bottom lane while the rest of them moving towards mid.
Now it's gonna be pretty easy for Execration. If I was Execration, I wouldn't go into the triangle. I'd take the long route towards the bottom lane and just go for the tier 2. Running into the triangle can be dangerous, and Boom, that's why they smoke right now. They're ready for it.
They only have 2 buybacks up as well, and it's just on the supports of Boom. They don't even need that much money for a buyback either. FBZ rolling thunder in. We'll find the connection onto the Earthshaker. Palos pops a smoke. Doesn't really help them there. They also got Bob. Bob pops his BKB, and FBC tries to teleport home. Not gonna happen. Skem is about to die to the rot damage as Palos is right next to him.
Weak.
Black hole in the river. Gonna be catching Jackie Boy. And that is a GG call coming out from Boom. And Execration, they recover the lead again in this series. They were up 1-0. They got tied up, but now they're 1 game away from championship point.
Very clean game from Execration. I have to say, Boom Esports, I think they overestimated their ability to save the Lesh and overestimated their ability to kill the Pudge. If they gave more respect to the Pudge and poked more, other than committing onto him, it might have been a different scenario. I think they didn't understand just how important Yopaj's life was, and giving it away a couple of times just made their game impossible.
Yeah, impossibility for sure in this game. And, you know, the results are basically day and night from last game, where Execration basically got ran over. This is an even more stronger statement against Boom coming into this this third game. 20-8. It did not require many kills in this game. Execration found a couple good fights. That's all they needed. This game was over fast.
Yeah, we don't need to kill you. We can just force you to surrender when you feel our might. That is a statement, as you mentioned it. And, you know, Boom Esports, they came into the tournament probably as one of the favorites. Execration, definitely not so. And now they're just 1 game away from winning the entire thing. So, yeah. Boom Esports, well, you know, if they want to win this one, they're gonna have to force out the game 5. So I think a lot of the chat and us here will be cheering for that one, just to see a full 5-game grand final here.
Of course we will. We want to get a full-on brawl. But if Execration does manage to sneak it through in the next game, well, then it just shows that they were the better, more prepared team out of these 2 into the grand finals. Execration, they already won Boom in the group stages 2-0. Can they win them in the grand finals? It's up to the next game after the break.